check out our new merch store at www.ShotOfFactsPodcast.com, where you can find our merch with shirts dedicated to each episode you love. Check it out today and support a Shot of Facts merch. Yeah, so more so as my question next to you is, how are you using your music as an outlet? Like, have you realized that this was helpful for you in your own journey? Like, let's discuss your journey on how you basically switched over to gospel music.
Okay, so when I first started making music, I was in middle school, and I used to make little silly raps. But I seen how I evolved because I got around a group of certain people and started talking about certain things, started doing certain things, and I just always had in the back of my mind like God never wanted me to make that type of music, and I went through so much. It was so many doors that were open for me, but I wouldn't take them because of the music I was making. I didn't want to get out here and put myself in predicaments that would end up costing me my life. So I had to develop myself as an artist more. And me going through life changes changed my message. Like I couldn't continue talking about everything I was talking about, knowing God had already changed my spirit. So by him doing that, it changed the way I thought, the way I was moving, the way I was making music. Even now, I'm still evolving as an artist. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I became the gospel artist I became through life situations.
So, do you believe that this overall helped you with mental health?
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. The reason why is because, when you hear certain things, first of all, the ears and your eyes are the gateway to your soul. Plain and simple. So
X.
you gotta look at it deeper than just going to therapy, because you can go to therapy all day and get out and still do what you do. So you got to look at it deeper than what it really is. You got to be able to pray about it, ask God to protect your mindset. Make sure you're doing everything to protect your mind. Make sure you're eating healthy, doing all the necessary things that you need to do, become a better person and protect your mind. But as far as just trying to do simple things and thinking that years of trauma and all that stuff is going to erase, it's not going to work like that.
No, real talk. Like, as a person, I advocate therapy all throughout my podcast. I advocate
Mm-hmm.
healthy eating. I advocate just being overall a well-rounded person because I feel like most of us, when we think about glowing up, we think about leveling up, we think about entrepreneurship, which is still good. We think about getting
Mm-hmm.
money, but we still need to address the problems that we have deep inside us that we never discussed before. These
Mm-hmm.
generational traumas, these mental health illnesses and issues that is rampant through our community that we just sweep under the rug. And I
Facts.
definitely think your music is an avenue for people to start expressing healthy ways of what's going on with them.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. And a lot of things I've noticed, this is how I know people wasn't happy. I mean, yeah, this is how I know certain people wasn't happy this year, even with the unemployment money. I've seen people who were struggling badly. And when unemployment came, they was living the best life they could. But in the end, they were still unhappy. They still make unhappy posts. They still struggle with being who they are. And I tell people all the time, is materials can't replace what you need to fix internally. So uh that's pretty much the message I try to give people all the time. Is more than just the fleshly ways. You got to look at your spirit, because that's them two right there are a battle. Your flesh and your spirit is the biggest battle in your life that you ever gonna have. So if your flesh outweighing your spirit, you got to do some readjustment.
So, what are some ideas of readjustment for someone who is just now figuring out, like, I want to do better, I want to be better?
Okay, so some adjustments that I made. Um, I downloaded this app on my phone called Steps, and I take 10,000 steps a day, just walking around my block. I listen to affirmations. I speak life into myself. I pray. I meditate. Um, I keep myself busy. I focus on what I need to focus on. I try to let go of all the negativity, no matter how bad it is. Like I didn't have some trauma happen to me this year, but I've also learned that when them thoughts come, you have to let them drift, because if you allow your feelings to get caught up in them thoughts, you're gonna react the wrong way.
Right.
So I created a lot of habits to humble me and to help me pay attention to where I'm going and to heal me during that process. I got a song called Traumatized Child where I spoke on things that I never spoke on in my life. And that helped me a lot because I opened up to that child in me that was hurting. And I put his story out there. And I called myself connecting with that child this year. So I had to mend a lot of stuff that was broken through the years. And that put me in a great spot right now.
So, what would be one word or one quote that you would say to someone, a young black dude in your position or position before? What would you say to him as a person who's trying to learn how to get out of whatever situation that he's in?
Allow time to do his job. We get caught up in the habit of trying to control things too much. And time is the natural healer because you could break up with someone that you've been with for 3 years and you could be the only one that still feel that hurt and pain. But that pain and hurt would not leave unless you allow time to heal it. And that's with anything. You have to allow time to heal things because eventually it got to come to the light. Whatever you're dealing with, it got to come to the light. And when it comes, you have to face it. So you got to let time heal you.
That's a really hard concept sometimes for people because
It
you
is.
have to come into the realization that you can't really control everything that happens to you in your life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can't. You cannot control everything that happens. Even if you don't want bad things to happen, you can't control it. So you have to allow the universe to do what it do.
All right.
Because whatever happens, just know it's a blessing on the end of that. Even if things start falling apart, that's the time where you should really be the most grateful when things start to fall apart. And it's hard to hear that in the beginning because all you thinking about is, dang, why is this going bad? Dang, why is that going bad? I'm losing this person. I'm losing that person.
Right.
But in reality, you're being set up to get pushed into a new way of living. And we don't see that until that time really comes. So yeah, that'd be the greatest advice I could give somebody is let time heal you.
All right, let's talk about now Take Notes. It's coming out
Take
November
notes.
28th. What
Yeah.
is it about? And what is overall the message that you are trying to send to the masses with releasing this mixtape?
Mm. So take notes. I'm talking about relationship problems. I'm talking about struggles. I'm talking about uh, all kind of stuff, trauma. I'm talking about making it through situations you thought you would never make it out. It's pretty much a reflection of everything that I've been through and I made it through. And I know a lot of people my age and in my generation have been through what I've been through. The problem is you don't have a lot of people with heart to say what I speak in my music. You don't have a lot of people to really speak what I'm saying. And because of that, people just ride any wave. So take notes is pretty much exactly how it sounds. Take notes on the way to live. Take notes on how to deal with certain situations. Take notes on how to love. Take notes on how to follow the leader. You know what I'm saying? And most importantly, trust God in everything you make sure God is in everything you do. That's the biggest message out of all of that. But take notes on things you need to fix in your life. That's what this whole mixtape is about.
Okay, and then on the 28th, is it going to be available on iTunes, Spotify? Like, where can we access it?
This Take Notes is gonna be on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. I'm actually going back to get hard copies made, CD copies made. Like it's gonna be everywhere. It's going everywhere.
And that's funny because, a lot of people, I don't know, well, I'm not in the music, industry, but I feel like actual CDs, like people don't really do that anymore. So it's
They
like you
don't.
kind of taking it back. Yeah, you taking it back with the
They
actual
don't.
CDs.
The reason why the reason why I said I was gonna bring CDs back is because there's a lot of older people who love my music. And I'd be like, they ask me where my music at, and I'll be telling them it's on Apple Music, YouTube, and they're like, oh, I don't do all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now I got to get some CDs made for y'all because y'all be wanting to hear my music and y'all don't have no way to do it. So I got to get y'all some CDs for sure.
But the older audience is still a big audience too.
It
So,
is. It is.
and they're the ones who got money and stuff that will support. So,
Yeah, those the ones that's gonna genuinely hear your music and be like, yeah, he got it. But
right.
then you got people my age that hear it and know I got it, but won't promote it because of the message. Too ashamed to promote it. You feel me? So